Well, good morning and happy Thursday, everybody. Thank you for joining us. This is your coach here with Coach's Call on Tap. This is our NCAA football Week 9 recap here with Tristan Dunn in Pennsylvania. Donnie, no, you're in Carolina. I'm sorry. I've got two guys in Pennsylvania, and it's really fucking me up. Tristan, you're still in North Carolina. Please stay there because I want to come visit. Donnie's in Tennessee. We've got Puff, the Puff Daddy in Pennsylvania, and we're joined by a new guy. Kyle. This guy knows his shit. Listen to him, fade him, or tail him either way. But he's on here going to give us some of his knowledge. Kyle, welcome to Coach's Call on Tap. This is our NCAA Week 9 preview. Pick 'em. This is getting good, guys. We are now separating the men from the boys. Shit's fixing to happen. We've got some big games on tap. I cannot wait for the world's largest cocktail party. Number one, I look forward to this every year. I don't care what the stats are or what anybody is. But before we get to the fun part, like is Florida State for real? Are they going to lay an egg? Is Oklahoma going to roll Kansas? Penn State, are they going to stay shitty or are they going to right the ship? Let's take it to Puff because I think he's got to get something off his chest from last week. So we're gonna let Puff do his rant in the morning. Peter Puffer, go ahead.
Oh, man. Tristan Dunn, come here. Front and center. Let's go back to school here. Hey, I thought Drake May was going to win Heisman. You can't win Heisman losing to Virginia, right? What you got to say? What you got to say about your North Carolina Tar Heels?
So first of all, I've been called a Tar Heel fan the last 3 weeks. I'm not a Tar Heel fan. I'm not a fan of North Carolina.
Okay, hold on, but you have been a Tar Heel fan all season long.
I'm a fan of the team. I'm a fan
you
of the team.
You have touted them all year, so you got to own it.
I have, but I'm not a Tar Heel fan. It's not a bet with my heart. And if you watch the play that he threw the pick on, yes, they lost to Virginia, but if you watch the play he threw a pick on, he didn't just throw the pick. The ball got knocked out of his hand. Yeah, what do you have to say to that?
The crickets now.
Still lost to Virginia. That's
no,
horrible.
And you're okay, but he can't play defense too.
And nobody in North Carolina can play defense.
Okay. Nobody in the ACC can play defense.
Are you done? Are you done, Puff? Is that it? Is that all you
done?
got?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm just
that
saying.
Was weak. That was weak.
Saying, you were giving me all this shit about
you had your shot. You had your shot, Puff, and you swung and missed on that one, buddy. Holy cow! You need to do more research than that next time because you don't get next week. You don't get a rant next week, Puff. You've used it up. Jeez.
Try a little harder next week, buddy.
Kyle, how you doing over there, buddy?
Good.
Hey, man, what do you think? What did you think about last week, man? This is the first time on the show. Give us a little insight on what you thought about some of last week's games. Maybe some highlights, some lowlifes. What's going on? What do you think?
I mean, lowlifes of Virginia beating North Carolina. To add on to that, I mean, that is just fucking embarrassing. I don't know how you can say you're a college football playoff contender and then you go out there and lose to Virginia.
I agree.
It's beyond me.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. You can go out there like Florida State did, lay an egg against Boston College, or Georgia go out there and lay an egg for 3 quarters, but in the end, you got to win. I mean, you got to beat a team like that, dude. There's just absolutely no. And still, my hat's off and prayers and all that to Virginia and their fans and all that because of the horrible tragedy last year. But at some point in time, gentlemen, we got to get back on the field and play some football. Anyway, guys, we were high on this team. We're going to start with the top 25. By the way, before we get started on the top 25 plays, and we're going to pick them all today. Before we get started, make sure, I want to thank you for listening, first of all. Make sure you go to coachescallontap.com. You can check the link on our Discord there. It'll take you directly there, and you can see our real-time plays that we're going to have on Saturday morning. I made a big mistake, and I made 40 plays at 9 o'clock in the morning Saturday, and it bit me in the ass. I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to go back to my old ways. I'm going to make my 11 o'clock plays, and I'll make my 2:30 plays, and then I'll make my 6 o'clock plays. Yes, Tristan?
Would we like to do a small housekeeping and say the records from last week?
Yeah, we'll do that in just a sec. So make sure you go to Coach's Call on Tap and hit the Discord. Tell people about us, and then they can also go to our website and they can connect with us on YouTube. Make sure you share, like, and comment, and then go check us out. Okay, Tristan, housekeeping, please.
Real quick, so we'll start with Coach and Puff both went 7-10. Donnie goes 8-9. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about in here apparently, but I go 9-8. So
See, there you go, Puff. See, you don't have to do any research, and every now and then you become a winner like Tristan. So there you have it. Yeah, lucky. We'd rather be lucky than good sometimes. It's okay. It's okay. All right, let's get to the top 25, guys. 11 o'clock Saturday. We got Florida State 7-0, 5-0 in the ACC against Wake Forest. We were high on Wake Forest last year. Donnie, I think we bet the overs on Wake Forest every single game last year. Yep. And we added on and added on. And I have not seen anything about Wake Forest this year. They haven't been mentioned. I haven't given a shit. And Florida State's given 20.5 on the road. The over and under is 51. Don, let's start with you. What do you think about this Florida State matchup?
I mean, Florida State is going to have to keep winning big if they want to stay in contention, because the ACC is really falling apart now. So every one of their wins doesn't look very good. They will have a very late season test, which I expect them to lose. If you know Florida State's late season test, you'll know the game. If not, well, go do some research. But that said, I think FSU wins this game and wins it pretty handily. The big stat that I see is Wake Forest just does not score a lot of points, and they're going to have to on this matchup. So it is a home game for Wake, which gives me some concern, but I think that the coaches understand they've got to win big here, so they're going to try to push it as much as they can. So give me FSU.
I got you. I like it. Puff, what do you think, buddy?
Yeah, I think that's the problem with Florida State is that they have a tendency to play down to their competition sometimes. And this is one of those games where I could see it happening. I'm not saying it's going to be a close game, but I think 20.5 is too many points for this Wake Forest team.
I got you. Tristan, what do you think, buddy?
It's gross. I'm going to go Florida State. I think they do know exactly what Donnie said. They gotta play big. I think they blow Wake Forest out. I think Donnie said they have one big matchup late in the season. I would say they actually have two. Because they got Miami and then they go to Florida. I think the game at Florida.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Big one.
Yeah, they have Miami at home.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think Miami give them a good game.
He was talking about Florida.
I know.
Donnie was talking, yeah.
And they're gonna blow Florida out. So let's just be.
Oh gosh. Okay, we're not gonna even go there until that week because I have a lot to say about that too.
Yeah.
So let's slow our roll. Hey, Kyle, what do you think about this Florida State team? What do you think about this matchup? 20.5.
I like it. I like it. I am a personal believer in this Florida State team. Definitely not a team that has won bets. I'll tell you that. For one, sure. But overall, I'm a believer in this team. I think 20.5 is just right for them. I bet you they win by 21.
There you go. I like it. I like the second half on this. I am done betting Florida State first half. These son of a bitches, they show up and they sleep through the first half, and I'm sick of it. And I really am, and I'm tired of it. So I like Florida State to blow them out by probably more than 30, but that's not going to happen until the second half, I believe. Interesting comment, though. Did y'all hear Stoops' comment at Kentucky after they lost that game? He said the NIL is really, really costing Kentucky players, and they can't keep up because they don't have enough money. But he fails to, and I wanted to say this last time, he doesn't get it. Coach Norvell or Coach Fisher here at A&M, Fisher gives out of his own paycheck $1.6 million a year to A&M's NIL. Norvell gives 1.2 to the NIL, and Stoops is over there. He's making $14 million or $4 million a year, but he's not going to give anything to his players. So I just think it's one of those things. If you want to cheat, you better be good at it. And Jimbo and Coach Norvell are better at it than Stoops is. So moving on, Oklahoma 7-0, 4-0 in the Big 12. They go to Kansas. Over. The over and under is 65. OU is favored by 10. Donnie's been a big believer in Oklahoma, still thinks Oklahoma's going to make the playoffs. Let's just go straight to him. What do you think about giving 10 points to Kansas here?
I think this is a great spot to take Oklahoma. They're coming off a real scary game last week against UCF. They should have won that game handily, and it was a struggle. It was a struggle from the opening bell. That said, it was coming, off of a bye week, and they didn't perform. Kansas coming in off a loss to Oklahoma State. They did not look very good. They made it close, but they made it close late. So I'm going to take Oklahoma to win here, and I think, like I said, it's now or never for these teams that want to make a statement. Oklahoma's sitting 7-0, and how can you? This is the weird part that doesn't make a lot of sense. You're 7-0 in the Big 12, and you're ranked 6th at this point in the year. Yeah, something's fishy. So yeah, I'm going to take Oklahoma here.
I'll tell you what, it's all political, Donnie. We can get into that later.
Oh yeah,
but yeah. This is not the South will not rise again if the liberals up north have anything to say about it. Hey Puff. Anyway, hey Puff, what do you think about this Oklahoma giving 10 on the road to Kansas, buddy?
Yeah, I look at this game and all I see is just points, to be honest. This is gonna be one of them games where last possession wins. I think 10's too many for Kansas at home. Kansas has a tendency to hang in these games like this where they're playing a ranked opponent, especially at home. Like Texas, when we play at Kansas all the time, we always tend to slip up. And this is one of them games where I see Oklahoma having a possibility to slip up. But I like the over a lot in this game.
There you go.
But,
Tristan, what do you think?
Yeah.
I'm going to be on Kansas. I watched every snap of that Oklahoma game versus UCF. And, I mean, they look like dog shit. I don't know if they went in
Did you watch them against Texas?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I watched this second half. But, yeah, so
okay.
I don't know. I think Kansas gets up for this game. I think it's a touchdown game. I think they can keep it within a touchdown.
All right. Hey, Kyle, what do you think, buddy?
Hey, Kyle.
Hey, Kyle, what do you think, buddy? Wow.
Give me Kansas to cover, but Oklahoma's going to pull it out in the end. I wish Jaden Daniels was playing for Kansas, because I think if Jaden Daniels plays for Kansas wins this game. I do think. I think he is the X factor of that Kansas Jayhawks team, and I think he's a quarterback that's built to win games like this. Unfortunately, he's not going to be playing. So Oklahoma, I think they're going to escape Kansas with a win, but Kansas, I think they're going to cover.
That was my question, Kyle. And you know this? Have you seen it? I mean, do you know this for sure? He's not going to play.
It says doubtful.
Doubtful. Okay.
Doubtful.
Yeah, that was my
like
thing. Okay, here.
25% chance. No, 25% chance. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, he's a real deal. I really like that kid. I'm 100% with you. I would even. Well, they wouldn't have lost last week. That's for sure. With that kid. I mean, I know that. But anyway, dude, so Gabriel had a bad game. It happens, right? I mean, everybody's still, Kansas City, they can't score enough points to get out of a fucking stadium, yet everybody still loves them. They can't score 17.
Up your ass about that yesterday.
They can't score 17, 20 points in one game with the best quarterback in the nation in the world, Mahomes, with Taylor Swift up in the bleachers. They can't score more than 17 points a game. Yet everybody still loves them, and they're still the greatest football team ever. So Gabriel comes out here. He lays one egg in one game. Other than that, these guys are putting up 60-something points a game. Oklahoma's going to right the ship. It sounds chalky as shit. But I like Oklahoma to win this by 2 touchdowns, maybe a little bit more. Okay, Tristan, let me have it.
No, I mean, you're the wrong podcast to do it on. You're just delusional about Kansas City.
Dude,
but go ahead.
Gabriel is not that good, man. Where are we getting this from?
I don't know. Maybe the first 6 games, Puff. Maybe the thing that he shot a football up y'all's ass the entire game. Huh? Maybe he sent y'all packing early and often. Y'all couldn't stop him, and y'all have the best defense in the world. Get over the game, Puff. Let's move on, buddy. Come on now. Drink a beer, relax, settle in. Let's move on. We got a lot of other games. Like Indiana going to Penn State. Let's talk about your Penn State Nittany Lions. Woo, we were all over them guys. Woo, they were good. You want to talk about a shitty quarterback, Puff? Let's start with that guy. Let's go to you, Puff. Tell me about your Nittany Lions and how great that fucking quarterback is.
Yeah, let's start with Drew Aller. What the fuck was I watching last week? Fuck, I could have put Uncle Rico in the game and he would have dropped dimes better than
Hey, he's the 3rd best quarterback ever, so easy with Rico.
No, but I like Penn State. I don't know. The fact that they only lost by, what was it? How much did they lose by last week? 6, 7?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, the fact that Huh? What was it?
20 to
8.
12.
Yeah, the
8.
fact that they only lost by 8 last week is crazy with the way that their quarterback played. If Allard gets going, I see Penn State winning out the rest of the season. But if he shows up like he did against that Ohio State team, they're screwed. But let's talk about this week. Indiana, they suck. They're hot garbage. This team is trash. I think Penn State's defense is legit gonna make a statement and shut them out this weekend, to be honest. Like, Indiana can't get nothing going offensively. Penn State's defense is where it's at. I think they're just going to blow them out the wire, win this game like 45-0.
Okay, I'll tell you what. We're going to switch gears here and go to one of your really good friends, Kyle. What do you think about the bullshit that Puff is shoveling over there?
I mean, it was absolutely pitiful last week at the Horseshoe. It was absolutely pitiful. I mean, is it Drew Aller's fault? Is it the team's fault? Or is it the coach preparing them and James Franklin's fault, who can't win a big game to save his freaking life? But we're going to give him millions and millions and millions of dollars for the 10-year extension. Why not?
Hey, I got Jimbo Fisher over here, Kyle, so cry me a river, right?
You're right.
Go ahead.
Right. Just as bad. But this week, I mean, it's Indiana. That's really all I should say. They're terrible. Penn State at home, probably going to win by 40 plus easily.
Okay, Tristan, what do you think about that 32-point spread?
I originally liked Indiana, but I kind of agree with Puff. I think their defense is good enough to shut Indiana out. And last time we had a spread like this on Penn State, I can't remember who they played, but it was a rainy game. Oh, it was UMass. So the over under was like 52, but the spread was like 40 something. And that's exactly what happened. Was Penn State shut them out and they beat them like 65-0. I think that happens again. Give me Penn State to cover.
Okay, Donnie.
Here's an interesting fact.
Donnie, Indiana. Let me throw these at you first, okay? Because I know you're going to come at us with some mathematics. They lost to Ohio State 23-20. That's a 20-point cover, right? They beat Indiana. Who cares about Indiana State? Louisville sucks. They lose to Louisville by 7. Akron, whatever. Maryland, they lose to Maryland by what? What is it? 27. Of course, Michigan, nobody's going to beat Michigan except for whoever's in the SEC in the national championship. Rutgers, they lose to Rutgers. Where is Penn State? I saw this quarterback, and yeah, you might have a bad day or whatever, but this guy looks like a junior high. I mean, he didn't look like he was ready. This was big time stage, big time go. Oklahoma, it wasn't a big time stage. When Oklahoma played Texas in a big time stage, Gabriel showed up. These quarterbacks show up in the big time stage, right? This guy didn't. They haven't covered 32, but maybe or Indiana. Nobody's beat Indiana by that much. What makes me think that, or you think that Penn State's going to cover 32 points against Indiana, Don? What do you think?
Well, there's two reasons. One, I mean, let's be serious. Aller had a really crappy game. He went 10 for 42. 10 for 42. Here's the kicker. Here's a strange fact for you. If you go 10 for 42, how many interceptions do you think he had? He had none. He had 0 interceptions.
7.
He had 0 interceptions. He did not have a single interception. To this day, this year, this man has got, 13 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Wow.
Now, did he show up in the big game? No, he didn't. But he didn't necessarily cost them the game by himself. He had some drop passes to go along with it. The big stat on this game is really simple. Penn State gives up 218 yards in defense. So the last time Indiana faced a team that had that good of a defense was Michigan, and Michigan gives up a little bit more, and they got blown out. So give me Penn State, because I think it's all about the defense, and I think Aller does enough this game that he can get them 4 or 5 touchdowns, and the rushing game gets them a couple as well.
I got you. Donnie says it's all about the D, baby. That's what I've been telling her for all my life. But look, here's the thing. It's Big Ten. It's Big Ten football. I mean, and it's bad Big Ten football. It's not even the top teams here. So I really don't give a shit. I'm with you. Indiana's horrible. If this quarterback is what it is, Penn State ought to do what Michigan did, right? 52-7 and cover. I just got a bad taste in my mouth. But this is what I call a bounce back game at home. They're pissed off. Something went wrong. They've got a lot to prove. They got to right the ship. So give me Penn State, let's say 45-3. So give me Penn State on that one. Now, here's one of the funnest games ever. I love this game. It's in a neutral site. And these people, and now, this is where Chetty and his group, this is where they thrive, man, because this is the cocktail party. I mean, you show up in a suit and tie and you party all weekend. This is amazing. And this is great football. Throw all the stats out the window. Throw everything out. I don't care who the quarterback is. I don't care if the tight end's out. I don't care if the backup quarterback is in or it doesn't matter. I don't know who's going to win this game, but you're telling me Georgia is 14.5 points better than Florida? I don't know. I know one person that really believes that Florida is really, really bad, and I'm going to let him start. Go ahead, Tristan. Tell us if UGA is going to win this by 14.5 or more.
I feel like Florida really put everything they had into beating Tennessee at home a few weeks ago. And honestly, they've laid eggs ever since. Like, they let Charlotte hang around with them in Florida in a night game. That alone right there tells me that, I mean,
what's a hangover game, though, Tristan, don't you think? After that big Tennessee win, that's still a hangover. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, you're fine. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, you should be beating Charlotte by fucking 50. I mean, they are that bad.
And UNC should have won by fucking 30, but go ahead.
With that being said, I like Georgia. I think they finally got this thing rolling, and I think they're gonna go ahead and keep cruising on to the fucking championship.
Okay, Puff, what do you think about this?
Normally, I don't like using football math with college football, but piggybacking off of what Tristan said, right? Florida lost to Kentucky 33-14, right? And Georgia played Kentucky 2 weeks ago, and they beat them 51-13. So I normally don't like using football math, but I feel like this is one of those situations where I can use it, and I think Georgia just kicks the shit out of Florida.
I love the word you just used, Puff, situation, because if you remember, and you can go back to our podcast, we called the Kentucky win, and we called the Kentucky loss. Remember? I thought that there's no way that Georgia was going to roll Kentucky. Said yes, they were going to roll them because of situations. You said that perfectly. Situation. Find the situation in college ball because these guys are still kids. I love your take on it, though, Puff. Kyle, what do you think about this? 14.5.
If I'm a Georgia fan this weekend, I am absolutely terrified.
Thank you so much for saying that.
Absolutely terrified if I'm a Georgia fan this weekend.
Damn right.
There is no Brock Bowers. When we see, even with Brock Bowers, when we saw them not targeting Brock Bowers, you escape at home by 7 versus South Carolina. You escape on the road at Auburn. I think Florida covers this game easily. It's going to come down to the wire. But I think this is another situation where you're going to see Georgia escape with the win because there's another game later in their schedule that's going to creep up on them that they're going to lose. But it's not going to be this one. I think they escape this with a 3 to 7 point win.
I love it. Love that take. All right, Donnie, floor is yours, sir. Let's get after it.
So let's look at some math here. Georgia is 1-6 on covers this year. 1-6. That's not good. Also, since 1994, Georgia covers 60% or wins 61% of the time after a bye week, compared to 73% on a non-bye week. So they struggle coming off of a bye week. Now, that hasn't happened in the last couple of years, we all know. Yep. But that, coupled with the fact that they do not cover well, and Bowers being out, I'm going to take Florida to cover here. I don't think they win, but I think they cover.
I love the situation, Puff. I love the situation, Kyle. I love I just everything about it. This smells like that Florida-Tennessee game. It smells like the Kentucky beating Florida game. It smells like those upsets. Everything points to it. Why not? It's the perfect timing. Bowers is out. Florida's coming off of this and doing this. Everything, the situation just sets up perfectly. Give me Florida plus 14.5. I'm with y'all. I don't know that they win. I don't know that they have that in them. But I really like, I like the 14.5. And to be honest with you, I don't know that it touches the 47.5 that the total is. I'm not sure about that, but give me Florida plus the 14.5. And I hate it because that's Ched's team, but give me Florida. All right. We're going to start with Puff on this one because we got the Mormons against the Horns. It's a 2:30 game at UT. Texas 6-1, 3-1 in the Big 12. BYU's 5-2, 2-2 in the Big 12. The line is set at Texas minus 18. Over and under is 50 at a 2:30 game at UT. What do you think, Puff?
BYU is going to cover this game.
Say it again. What?
Say it with your chest.
BYU is going to cover this game, and I wouldn't be surprised if we lost.
Really?
I'm being said, like, I'm still haunted. Like, I'm about to cry. Like, I got, like, my eyes, like, are watering right now. I'm not even kidding. Yeah, this game, like, BYU still haunts me from when Taysom Hill played and they beat us when we were, like, undefeated, about to go to national championship, and then they come to town. Taysom Hill, like, snaps his leg, and we lose to a backup quarterback for BYU. So that game still haunts me. And BYU this year actually isn't a bad team. But, yeah, they cover that easily with Ewers out. I think they could possibly win.
Wow. What do you think, Kyle? What do you think about your buddy? He needs a shoulder to lean on over there. What do you think about this Texas
I need a
team?
shoulder to lean on. You're not lying on that one. BYU though, this is a really confusing football team. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, they're 5-2, but I mean, 2 weeks ago they lost to TCU 44-11.
That's the only time I bet them, bud. That's the only time I bet them, and they get smoked.
Yeah, it's a really confusing team. You don't know what team is going to show up for them. So this is a game I'm staying away from. But if I had to pick, I think I'd choose Texas to cover just because the last time BYU was on the road at TCU, they lost 44-11. So,
yeah, I got you. Tristan, what do you think about this game?
Coach, real quick, who did you have covering Florida, Georgia? Was it Florida?
I got Florida. I had Florida at the beginning of the year.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I'm on BYU, man. I think it's really not a fade on Texas. I think Texas is going to win. That BYU team, they seem pretty tough. So give me BYU.
Donnie?
This is an interesting game with the quarterback being out and Malik Murphy getting his chance. That said, Coach's favorite person on the whole planet, Archie Manning Jr., has been taking snaps as well.
God, I hope he plays. If he does,
God,
if he does, BYU covers like a motherfucker.
Wait.
Okay, go ahead.
Coach loves to say things are scripted sometimes. I'm just going to say, what if Murphy gets hurt and Manning comes in and then just throws like this massive few touchdowns and then
the world's going to come crashing down.
Would that look scripted? That's kind of conspiracy theory.
I tell you what, Donnie, it would be fitting because that weak ass little high school district that Manning came from is all white, all Mormon, can't run out of sight in a day, and he was the fastest guy in the entire high school district that he played on in high school. So it would be fitting that he would beat the Mormons.
I'm just saying it's a very strange thing. So with all that said, I'm gonna be a conspiracy theorist and I'm gonna take Texas.
I love it. Thanks, Donnie. Hey, let me run this for
Donnie
you.
said, "Fuck the numbers. Give me the conspiracy theory."
Right. All right. So the first two road games that BYU had, dude, they won, and then they lost by 11. And then the TCU game, they completely laid an egg, but they bounced back and beat Texas Tech at Texas Tech. I think 18 points is too many points, man. I really do. I get it. It's Texas and hook 'em horns and all that blah, blah bullshit. And we're better than everybody else because we won a national championship in 06. Thanks for reliving that every fucking year. But I just think 18 points is too much. Does Texas win? Yeah, I think they win. But BYU's going to cover the 18. Give me BYU plus 18 on the road.
Texas fight.
Oh,
Texas
God,
fight.
here we go. That's such a whatever. All right. Oregon, Utah. This line is perfect. I finally see a line that I completely fucking agree with. I completely agree with this. And I tell you what, everybody keeps talking about if Rising comes back, well, you know what? He's not back, and Utah is still doing their thing, okay?
He's coming back.
Oregon at 6-1, 3-1. Utah 6-1, 3-1. Number 8 versus number 13. It is a 2:30 game, but it is at Utah. I think Whittingham's going to have him ready. I don't know. Y'all talk me out of it. Kyle, let's start with you. You're our special guest. What do you think about this Oregon-Utah matchup? Oregon given 6.5 on the road.
I do like Oregon here. I think Oregon last week showed that they can win by multiple scores against a decent football team. Utah is a great football team, though. I will put that on there. I think if this game is at night and it's not at 2:30 in the afternoon, Utah wins this game. This is an afternoon game, though. I think Oregon can walk in there, cover the spread, win by 7.
I like it. Puff, see, that's smart thinking. You see how he's doing that? You see how Kyle's like breaking it down there? I love that. Tristan, what do you think?
I love this Oregon team. I'm not necessarily sure why, but Bo Nix is playing good football. I mean, you can trash them for losing to Washington, but they were in that game right from the first kickoff. I mean, they played really good. This isn't a fade on Utah. I think this Oregon team is going to have just enough to cover it.
I got you. Puff, what do you think, buddy?
You know what? I was in the woods the other day, right, in Pennsylvania, and I was walking through there. And you know what? I was stepping, but I wasn't looking where I was stepping. You know, I stepped on a fucking bear trap. That shit hurt. So looking at this game, why is Utah favored? They're 13.
They're
Utah's
not
not.
favored. They're not
Bro,
favored.
Not.
They're
Dude,
6.5
you
points.
sure that bear trap didn't grab you around the head?
Utah's covering this spread 6.5. Easy.
What the fuck? We just did a 180.
Utah's covering. I wouldn't be surprised if they win. That
Okay.
defense is the real deal. Bo Nix disappears when it matters. Give me Utah to win.
Okay, boys and girls listening, hey, here's the lesson to be learned. Do not walk in the woods and get stepped on a bear trap. Donnie, what do you think about this line? 6.5
First
on the
off,
road.
I think Puff has been drinking and it's really early, so that's fine. I mean, I'm all for drinking early. But
Can't drink all day if you don't start early.
You can't drink all day if you don't start early. Yeah, Bo Nix is 19 touchdowns, 1 interception, thrown for 2,000 yards already. He's trying to make a Heisman run. But that said, coming off the Washington loss, didn't look so good there. He's going to be facing one of the toughest defenses he's faced. This defense held USC to 34 points, and that's not easy to do. I'm going to take Utah here just based on the defense. I think Oregon probably wins, but I think it's a very low-scoring game. They've got it at 47.5 points, which would be well below Oregon's totals for all year. I think the lowest they've had this year was like 50. So, and most of them are in the 60s and 70s. So when you see something that says 47.5, you know it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think they win, 24-21. Something like that. So yeah, give me the Utes.
I love it. I agree. Kyle, number one, I completely agree. If this was at night, it'd be a no-brainer. It'd be a no-brainer if it was at night. It's not at night, but it's still at Utah. Okay, a couple of things, and Donnie mentioned it. The total, 47.5. What the fuck? It's an Oregon game. It should be in the 60s. No. Vegas knows something. Then the Fighting Whittinghams from Utah.
I've got something to add here. Real quick.
The Fighting Whittinghams at Utah are extremely good defensively. I've been high on them since we started this podcast 2.5 years ago. I love everything about that defense. If they get Rising back, I think they get any better. I don't think they need them. -6.5. Strange things happen in Utah. They do cover. I wouldn't be surprised if they beat Oregon here outright. I'm going to bet Utah for a unit, and a quarter unit I'm going to sprinkle on the money line. Give me Utah plus the 6.5 and a little bit of sprinkle on the money line at home. Go ahead, Kyle.
So I'm going to let Kyle have his moment. I have a question after Kyle.
Go ahead.
Yeah. This is a question for Puff here. Puff said that Bo Nix disappears in big games. When did he disappear against Washington?
Thank you.
Okay, never mind.
All right, I'm gonna be honest. Their coach cost them that game. But what makes you think that their
Coach
coach isn't gonna
costs them
cost
every
them
damn
this game?
big game. Let's go
Exactly.
for it on fourth down 7 damn times. You know, why not? Let's go.
Yeah, and they're gonna do the same shit this week and lose to Utah.
Well, it was, and also it should have been a tie ball game at the half. That changes the entire perspective. Also, and that wasn't the court. That wasn't Nick's fault. Coach doesn't want 3 points. Fuck it. I wish I coached against guys that didn't want points when I was coaching. That's pretty cool.
Bo Nix wins that game, he's probably the favorite to win the Heisman right now.
Exactly.
Like, tell me I'm wrong.
100%. 100%.
So I have a
Not
question.
Drake May anymore.
Go ahead.
we've been who the fuck is this Rising kid? We've been talking about him coming back since last year.
Yeah, because he got hurt last year.
What did he get hurt with? Why are we waiting on him to come back? We're fucking, the year's almost over and he's still not fucking back. Why do
What,
we
did he have reconstructive knee surgery or some shit?
I don't know. That's why.
It was something that he was not. I mean, they're hoping he comes back. It's one of those Aaron Rodgers things.
Is he a senior or what?
Yeah, he's like an 8th year senior.
Yeah, this is his 6th year.
Yeah, he's like 32 years old or some shit, but he's a player, man.
And what's crazy, if he doesn't play this year, he can play next year.
He can play next year.
What?
Yeah, medical red shirt, baby.
Yep.
Holy
I believe you get up to
shit.
2 medical red shirts in while you're in college. Anyway, all right. Let's see. Pittsburgh 230. Pittsburgh 2-5. Going to Notre Dame number 14. Notre Dame minus 20.5. Kyle, what do you think about Notre Dame minus 20.5?
I like Notre Dame minus 20.5. They have not been able to put up that many points in the past previous games. I will say that, but I think this is a game where you can just see Sam Hartman go back to where he was at the beginning of the year and just absolutely unload on Pittsburgh. So I think Notre Dame covers.
I got you. Hey, Don, the 20.5 and the total of 44, all of that. Remember, it fishy to me. It looks fishy to me. Tristan is now a big believer in that look of talk to me about it. What do you think?
So yeah, 20.5 points is a lot of points in a game like this. If the total is 44.5, that means this game's got to end at 32-12. I've never seen a team. It's been a long time since I saw a team score 32 points. That's a very odd number. 12, also 4 field goals, gives them no touchdowns. The spread is just weird. I don't like this game. I think Vegas is really sharp on this line, just because of the way that those numbers work out. You do have Notre Dame coming off of a bye at home, off of a big win. If I've got to pick, I'm going to take Notre Dame for that reason. But the numbers on this look weird. If it was a Notre Dame minus 20 at 50 points, I would like Notre Dame a lot more. But 44 it's one of those times that normally you should always take the underdog. But with this being, like I said, with this being this team coming off of that win and everything, I'm going to stick to Notre Dame because they do play well off of a bye week.
I got you. What do you think, Puff?
Yeah, I'm gonna need y'all to hear me out on this game. This Pitt team.
If it's another bear trap, I'm gonna mute your ass. Go ahead.
It's not. But this Pitt team, they actually are starting to play halfway decent football now. They beat Louisville 2 weeks ago. Last week they lost to Wake by 4. I think that 20.5 is too many points. That's the same Louisville team that Notre Dame lost to. So I think Pitt has a good chance to cover this game. I like that a lot.
There you go. Tristan, what do you think, buddy?
I'm making this pick solely based off of defensive ranking. Notre Dame's got the 14th best defense in the country, and Pittsburgh's got 62. I think Notre Dame's defense keeps them at bay. Give me Notre Dame.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, 30-0. I mean, does Pittsburgh score here? You think Pittsburgh scores at all?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure.
I don't know. But it's still Pittsburgh and Notre Dame. And
Russell's got Pittsburgh, so you're not by yourself.
I'm still not. I'm not Hartman and now this Notre Dame team's confusing to me. If you're Notre Dame, you got all this money, you got mafia money backing you up, you got the Vatican backing you up, you got everything backing you up. You're only number 14 in the nation. You should be winning. You should be in the playoffs every year. That's confusing. I don't like this coach. I am fading this fucking coach. Give me Pittsburgh plus 20.5 on the road. All right. Will Leonard play or not, man? Gosh almighty. If he had hurt, Duke is at Louisville. If that quarterback hadn't got hurt, they win.
Yes.
Hands down. Hands down, they win. Hands down, they win, Donnie. Don't you dare say they wouldn't have won.
He didn't have the problem. The problem was they gave up some big plays at the very end of the game. I mean, they were up. Their defense just folded.
It was. This is so. Let's just go to it. Come on, Tristan. What do you think? Duke at Louisville. Louisville's given 4.
I think Riley plays. He was doing his damnedest to talk his coach back into playing last week after he got yanked. I think he plays. Give me Duke in a big bounce back game.
I got you, Kyle. What do you think about this game?
If Riley Leonard plays, Duke +4 all the way. Duke would easily win the game. And if Riley Leonard does not play Louisville, I would take Louisville spread. That's how I view it.
What's your pick for the podcast?
I'll take.
Gotta
Duke.
have one.
I'll take Duke.
I got you, Donnie. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go with Duke as well, but I am going to disagree with you. I mean, Florida State scored 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter and just were unanswered. I mean, they were 70, 80, 90-yard drives. I mean, their defense just folded. That said, Louisville doesn't have the firepower. I don't see them letting down like that again. That was their only meltdown. They didn't even melt down like that to Notre Dame. So, yeah, give me Duke just based on the defense.
Puff.
All right, boys. Listen, it's time to put the elk antlers away. Coach Elko is about to get the pipe laid down by Jack Plummer this week. Louisville is about to absolutely dog these fools. I think last week Duke showed in that last quarter, like Donnie said, they showed how to beat them. They showed the outprint for the offense, how it needs to be ran, everything. I think Louisville is going to mimic that very well in the way they do things. I think Louisville -4 is a great play this weekend.
Okay. All right. Let's back the fuck up just a second.
Where are we backing up to?
Okay. They showed the blueprint on how to beat them late in the game. Once your quarterback gets hurt, you've been on the field. Let's see, you've been on the field more than half the time. This is the fourth quarter now. You get tired. In the fourth quarter, let's see, Florida State had a 4.5 minute drive. Then they had an 8.5 minute drive. And then the last drive they had was a 13-minute drive. If you're really good, and Florida State is really good, they're one of the top 14 in the nation. You're gonna do something like that, especially when you got a backup quarterback in that can't move the ball. Exactly right. Did anybody learn anything from this? No, other than Florida, and then Florida only scored those points in that fourth quarter. If not, Duke probably wins this 27-21, maybe. So I don't know. I understand what y'all are saying, but I don't know where the exposure comes from, because once you can't move the ball offensively and the other team has the ball the majority of the time, the defense is going to get tired and you're going to give up points. I don't think that's the case here. He's a game time call. Riley's a game time call. And if he is the player that we saw on the sideline in the fourth quarter wanting to get back in, he's going to get back in this game. He's going to come out, and Louisville's just not them. And Duke's going to win this outright by 10, 14 points. Go ahead, Tristan. Puff, you.
I got a question though. So why isn't this line closer then? Like why isn't Duke like? No, I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just asking.
No. Because
hang on, I got this. It's closer.
It's not a matter of if he's a game time decision. We keep on saying that he's going to play it.
It's closer because Louisville beat Notre Dame and Notre Dame beat Duke. That's why it's that way. It's simple. It's pure mathematics. Louisville beat Notre Dame. Duke lost to Notre Dame. You take the points, you throw them all together, and that's where you come up with your number.
And normal Joe Blow is going to look at that. Look at the record. I mean, you said it yourself in another game. I'm going to go, and we hate that football math. Remember, you said you hated the football math, but you did. Game. Yeah, most people do that, Puff, and that's where this, and they know it. And you're going to get even money on both sides here, and that's what Vegas wants.
Who'd you take, Coach? Duke?
Yeah, give me Duke. Give me Duke. All right, Tulane Are we done with that Duke game, guys?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah,
All
that's
right,
it.
here we go. All right, I don't know. I feel like Puff wants to reach through the fucking screen and punch me in the mouth. Number 22 Duke, 6-1, 3-0 in the American Conference. Rice 4-3, 2-1 in the American. Tulane is traveling over there. They are a 10.5 point favorite with a 54.5 point total. Donnie, what do you think about this Tulane line?
Yeah, I've looked at this game a lot trying to figure out an angle for it, and there's just not a lot of things that go into it. I mean, Rice has made some big strides. Tulane has a problem covering, but yeah, I mean, all things said, I'm really just flipping a coin here, and I'm going with Tulane. I just can't. It looks real sharp. It looks like it's a 10-point game. So I'm going to go with the ranked team over the unranked team.
Puff, what do you think, buddy?
You guys know I love this Tulane team. Talk about them all the time. But here's the problem with this Tulane team. They give up majority of their yards to the air, and they struggle with a team that can throw the ball really well. So they give up 263 in the air. Rice, where all their yards come from, they put up 319 in the air. So I like Rice in this game. I'm going to be honest with you. As much as I love this Tulane team, I wouldn't be surprised if they lose this weekend. Like, I really wouldn't. I really like that +10. So I think I'm going to play this. I'm going to play this game for a pretty decent amount of money. Throw a hook on there, 10.5, and let's go.
Wow, I like it, Puff. Damn. All right, Tristan, what do you think, bud?
I don't know either of these teams well at all. I don't really have an analysis. Just give me the home dog.
Yeah, Kyle?
Yes, so Rice lost to Connecticut. So in that census, give me Tulane by murder.
Wow, okay. Let's just throw that shit out there. I like it. Yeah, I think this is ugly. Fuck this, Don. This is ugly, man. Give me a home dog. Why not? Give me a home dog. That's about all I got to say.
Yeah, that's all I got too.
Yeah, Tulane's colors.
That's all I got.
All right, USC. Oh my gosh, this Williams kid.
God damn.
Fucking laughable.
Don't.
I mean, I'm wondering if these voters from last year go, God dang, we really gave him a trophy.
Yeah, God almighty.
He's already got one in his pocket. USC, number 24, USC goes to Cal. USC is 11-point favorite, where they should have been probably a 30-point favorite. Donnie, what do you think about Cal beating them here at home?
The problem that I have is USC does not cover. They haven't covered in the last 4 or 5 games, I think, maybe 6. It's been a while since they've covered. It's 5 games. Have not covered in the last 5 games. The problem is their D. It's not Caleb Williams. I mean, he had a great game last week as far as stats were concerned. He just didn't throw any touchdowns. The problem
is the main stat, though, isn't it? That's the main stat.
Well, I mean, driving the ball is the big stat, I would think. I mean, because you get down there and you get more chances to score no matter what. He was 24-34, great numbers, 256 yards, not bad. They just couldn't score once it got down there. Now, I say that they still put up 32 points, but it was all rushing. The big number that I see on this is their defense is just garbage. They give up gaping plays to anybody. I think if you could go back now and let them play some of the teams that they played earlier in the year, I think it would be a big thing. I don't know who figured it out. Maybe it was Notre Dame. Maybe it was Colorado. Somebody figured out how to beat that defense, and they started opening it up through the air. So with that being said, Cal doesn't score much in the air. They're mainly a run team. I think it's going to if I have to take something, I'm taking the over. I mean, the over set at 68, and I think this gets easily 70 or 80 points. But give me the Trojans to cover this at 11, just because I don't think that Finley can keep up with the passing that Caleb Williams is going to do.
All right, I saw a couple of things before I get to the rest of y'all. They lost to Washington 49-32. So they scored 32 against a decent Washington team. They beat Arizona State 24-21, and they put up 40 points against against Oregon State. I'm not going to say anything about Utah because Utah's a great defense. So in that, give me Cal to cover, and I'm with you, Donnie, the over. Kyle, what do you think about this?
As Donnie was saying, it's hard to pick USC when they haven't covered in the last 5 games.
And I won't.
Yeah, so I think Cal manages to cover this one, but I mean USC, it's you at this point. If USC loses this game, Caleb Williams might as well sit out the rest of the season and prepare for the NFL.
Yeah, let's not get hurt. Exactly. Hey, by
Yeah.
the way, Kyle, I don't know if you know this, but just to help you when you pick this game, Coach Riley, he's been out for 2 days. He hadn't been on the practice field. I don't know if y'all give a shit about that or not.
No,
Okay.
they might be better without him.
There you go. There you go. So you like Cal on this? Kyle?
I will. Why not ride with the Golden Bears? You know,
There you go.
why not? Why not?
Let's ride with it. Tristan, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm off this USC team. I'm off of them. I don't. They're not good. Caleb Williams is not a difference maker. I think I was reading an article. Huh?
I said, you better get used to him being a difference maker because he's your future quarterback there, buddy.
No. So, anyways, I think I was reading an article that said that Caleb Williams might as well go ahead and sit out the rest of the season because the Heisman's out of reach. USC's not going to the playoff. What makes you think Caleb Williams is going to go out there and just put his body on the line for this game? I think Cal covers, scares the shit out of USC, could potentially win, and Caleb Williams is done for the year.
Let's not forget USC is still USC. Their backup quarterback probably doesn't suck. Anyway, Puff, what do you think?
USC is going to win this game by like 21. I think Cal is just they haven't when they played their last 2 games against top 25 teams, they got smoked. So I think they have well, let me phrase that. They lost by more than 11 to both of them. They lost by more than 11 to both of them. And I think USC is going to keep this trend rolling, and they're just going to blow right through these schools.
I got you. Number 5, Washington, who I think is I can't believe they're number 5. I think the last week scared everybody, but Washington goes to Stanford. Washington minus 26.5.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't the same Stanford team that had one good game against Colorado. We saw them last week lay an egg. I think this is a big bounce back for Washington. I think Washington wins this huge. I think they double what the spread is here. Give me Washington by y'all say murder. Donnie, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Penix had an off game last week. Two interceptions, which is more than double what he's had in any other game. He had no touchdowns. That said, he's still 20 touchdowns and 5 interceptions with 2,500 yards. He's wanting to make a Heisman run because they're still undefeated. Look for a bounce back game on this. I'm going to take Washington.
I like it. Puff, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Washington kills them, to be honest. But I'm going to say it again. This Ayomar kid, this receiver for Stanford, is going to be in the NFL next year, and he is going to be an absolute monster. So we're going to remember that name.
Tristan, what do you think, buddy?
I'm gonna take the home dog. It's not. I think Washington wins this game by like 24. So I think Stanford does just enough in the fourth quarter to get like a back door. Meemaw's gonna leave the back door open.
Gotcha. Kyle, what do you think, buddy?
Oh, yeah. Washington, they struggled last week big time. I think this is an easy bounce back for them to go on the road to Stanford. Give me Washington by murder.
I love it. Air Force number 19 against Colorado State. Let's make this one quick. Air Force minus 12.5 at Colorado State. Colorado State played one decent game. The rest of the time, they are who they are. Give me Air Force minus 12.5 on the road. Donnie, what do you think?
I'm actually going the opposite way on this. Air Force did not look good last week. They should have blown Navy out. There were so many chances where they were just running the ball down the field and just throw it into the bleachers or whatever. I mean, they had 2 fumbles on touchdown runs. That they're not a disciplined team. As far as being able to control the ball on the runs, they have no passing at all. We saw that very prevalent. So I'm gonna take Colorado State here and sprinkle some on the money line. I think Air Force gets their first loss this week.
Yeah,
I think that is the first. I think that this is the first time I've ever heard anybody in my 50 plus years of living say that a military academy school is not disciplined.
Yeah. And
That's pretty.
look at it from the coach down, and look at how many turnovers and flags and stuff they had last week.
I'm with you.
It was.
I'm with you. I'm
not
just
good
making
football.
that statement. Yeah, I'm just.
Oh, it
making
was.
that,
It was
yeah.
ugly football. Very ugly.
Puff, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I love Colorado State this weekend. Their run defense is solid. They can throw the rock, and that's where Air Force struggles. Their secondary struggles, and all they can do is run the ball. I love this matchup. So I'm gonna take Colorado State with the points. I don't know if I have the balls to do the money line, but I'm gonna take Colorado State with the points.
Tristan, what do you think?
I love Air Force here. They have the number 4. I don't know how a number 4 ranked defense in the country is undisciplined, but you know what? Colorado State's gonna have a rough time. Give me Air Force.
Kyle, what do you think, buddy?
I like Colorado State to cover, but I think Air Force does pull this one out. Give me the home dog to cover, though.
Love it. Big game here, boys. We got inbred versus inbred. Number 21, Tennessee, 5-2.
Coach,
What?
you didn't give your pick.
Yeah, I did. I was the first one. I said Air Force, minus 12.5.
Oh, okay.
Hey, here's a stat for you. Air Force had 3 different drives that had 3 penalties each. When do you see that?
It's a
In this game
fucking football game. Go ahead, Coach.
And in this game that we're fixing to talk about, number 21, Tennessee, 5-2, 2-2 in the SEC, goes to Kentucky, 5-2, 2-2 in the SEC. First of all, is Tennessee still crying about those calls? That's what I'm wondering.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he was trying to. Now we didn't say shit. A&M didn't. Say, we could have beat Tennessee. We didn't say shit about the 5 face mask calls that weren't called, the 2 interference penalties in the end zone late in the game that could have helped us. We didn't say anything about that. Tennessee just won, but this guy was literally crying tears. I mean, he was running down his jowls in press conferences. He was so mad because of calls at Alabama. You know what? You suck. Plain and simple, you sucked. Alabama's better, and they beat you. So Tennessee is who we thought they were. What do you think, Donnie? Is Tennessee a 3.5-point favorite again, better than Kentucky on the road?
On the road at this point in the year, it is a 6 p.m. game. That's not necessarily a night game, but it's not really a daytime game. I don't see Tennessee being able to hold that line. I think this is a very, very close game. I think that it's a field goal game at either side. I think either side wins by 2 or 3 points. In fact, it may end up being a have to go for 2 and don't make it type game. So give me Kentucky to cover at home as a home dog.
I don't like Kentucky in this spot, and I don't like Tennessee in this spot, and I love Kentucky in this spot. I think Tennessee is still reeling over that loss where they should have won. They should have won. I mean, it's like these kids on the Discord. Oh, if this, if that, if my grandma had balls, she'd be my grandpa. You know what, guys? They just didn't make it happen. That's bottom line. They didn't make it happen. They're not that good. They're not that good. They're coming off a beating at Alabama where they're crying about all kinds of flags and shit. Kentucky's just sitting at home licking their chops. Kentucky's going to win this by 7 to 10 points. It's not going to start out at night, but it's going to finish at night. And once that happens, the banjos are coming out and Kentucky wins this outright. Puff, what do you think?
Damn, Coach, you should make that into a TikTok and do like a hype video for Kentucky. That was kind of fire. Not gonna lie. But I like Kentucky in this spot too. I think Tennessee blew their load last week, and then they're emotionally just destroyed. And when emotions get brought in the sport, you normally get fucked up. And Kentucky, they're coming off rough loss. I think Kentucky wins this game easily.
What do you think, Puff? I mean, Tristan?
I mean, I know we look like brothers, but damn.
Y'all
Damn,
two
that's
stepbrothers.
crazy.
Damn, that was bad.
Yeah, I've become a huge Tennessee hater. I think it's their fans that have made me that way.
Okay.
Hey, welcome to my life for the last 45 years.
There's some
Although that's made me that way.
Yeah, there's some obnoxious fucks. Give me Kentucky.
Kyle, what do you think, man?
This is going to be a fun game. I can't wait to watch this game.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a really, really fun game. This is a spot where you could either see Tennessee bounce back or you could see Kentucky roll them. I think Kentucky wins this game outright. just like you said, by 7 to 10 points.
There we go. All right, moving on. Ohio State number 3. Dude, Ohio State's they're looking better and better.
I like
Number
this
3,
game.
no, Ohio State going to whiskey. Ohio State 14.5-point favorites. Over and under 45.5. Big Ten game. I mean, is somebody thinking what I'm thinking, Tristan?
Yeah,
I'm thinking exactly what you're thinking. Damn it!
This line is fishy. You're telling me this Ohio State team that's hanging 40-50 in their earlier games. I know they dropped the egg this last week. Give me Wisconsin at home.
There it is. There it is.
You thinking what I'm thinking, Tristan?
Yes, sprinkle it, baby.
Sprinkle the money line. Here's my thing. Taylor Mordecai is not Drew Allard. Taylor Mordecai has been in the big games. He fucking played in these big games at SMU. I know it's not Power 5, but he's played in the big games that matter. And I love Taylor Mordecai and this Wisconsin team this year. They have not shown up that much this year. Don't get me wrong. But at any moment, this team could explode and put up like 45 points. They just need the game to do it. They're at home, night game. They're going to get it rocking. They're going to get it rolling. And they're going to beat these fools into the fucking ground.
Donnie, do you agree or disagree with the bear trap?
Here it comes.
I think I love his enthusiasm. I love his ability to say Ohio State's going to lose because I don't like Ohio State. But that said, I have to take Ohio State here. I think the points are low on this, and the points are low because Ohio State has not looked good in their last 3 games. The Maryland game was close. The Penn State game was close. They still covered, though. Here's the kicker. We've said it before. Good teams win. Great teams cover.
Exactly.
You know, Ohio State's been covering a lot. Even though the points are low, like Notre Dame and Penn State, they still covered both those games. So, give me Ohio State to cover this.
Kyle, agree or disagree with the slurring Swami over here?
Yes, so Mordecai isn't expected to play, Puff. He's hurt.
Oh, no.
Oh, shit.
He isn't expected to play. Mordecai didn't even play last week, Puff. Like, he didn't even play last week. He's hurt. He's not expected to play.
I mean, he's got a broken hand. It's not that bad. He can throw with it.
You're right.
Rub a little mud on it. Go ahead, Kyle.
Put it in, maybe he broke it in a bear trap.
Yeah. So unfortunately, with that devastating news, I got to give you more devastating news. Ohio State's going to cover. They're probably going to win this one. Wisconsin, I was so high on them in the preseason, so high on the freaking team. They've let me down so much. I hate Ohio State, but I hope Ohio State puts their head into the ground.
I'll tell you what, Kyle, I think we all, well, I don't know about it, we all, but I was high on Wisconsin too. We saw their schedule. We thought, man, these guys may be able to pull it out and, conference championship game or something.
There was a certain pizza maker that said that whiskey was going to be in the college football playoff, but I digress.
Yeah, well, whatever. Yeah, I don't see whiskey. Whiskey's not that team we thought, and I'm not going to hang my hat on that. Yes, it's a night game. It's going to be rocking and rolling. I'm going to take Ohio State minus the 14.5, but here's what I'd like to do. I think this would be fun if we could have a Zoom call during this game, and we can have a drinking game. Every time we hear somebody say Maserati Marvin,
oh my God, I'll be fucked up by the end of the first quarter.
I think it would be a fun game. If I hear that one more time, I'm going to slap my wife and kick my dog. I swear. I mean, it's horrible.
What's your pick, Coach?
Anyway, Ohio State. All right, Vandy and Ole Miss, over and under 63.5. We always start in the Vandy games. We always start with the over and under, Kyle. Vandy, Ole Miss, 63.5 is the over and under. The line's 24.5. I think it's too big of a line for Ole Miss. No, hold on. Whoa, they're at home. Never mind. Give me Ole Miss minus 24.5, and give me the over at 77. Donnie, go ahead.
Yeah. This is my game of the week. Y'all know that I love betting Vanderbilt overs because they all go over. Yep. I don't do it because I'm a Vanderbilt fan. I am a Vanderbilt fan. That said, I do it because the math is very simple. Last year they covered, I think, 90% of the overs, and this year they're at 100%.
Yep.
So they're facing one of the most explosive offenses in football right now. You can tell me USC is explosive and everybody else is explosive, but Lane Kiffin loves to throw the deep ball. And that said, he loves facing Vanderbilt for some reason. When he was at Tennessee, he loved beating the shit out of him. And I'm gonna take Lane Kiffin to score 50 plus points by himself. He may even get out on the field and try to throw the ball. That said, I think the line is way too small for this. Vanderbilt has covered their last game versus Georgia, but then dating back, they have not had a cover since last year. So give me Vanderbilt to lose big time and take the over as well.
Kyle, what do you think about this game?
Yeah, hammer the over and hammer Ole Miss. Simple as that.
I love it. Puff?
Yeah, short and sweet. Ole Miss is going to win this game by like 60 and take the over.
Tristan?
Next game, Ole Miss.
Easy. Colorado 4-3, 1-3 in the Pac-12. Whoa, they started off. What is going on with my shit here, guys? I really need a new tech guy over here. Colorado is we were really high. Everybody loved these guys. I don't know. Now they're going to UCLA. UCLA, I think, just got done beating the shit out of Stanford. Now they're 17-point favorites at home, over and under 62.5. Donnie, go ahead.
This is a really interesting game because both bettors are going to look at it this way. They're going to say, oh my gosh, Stanford beat the snot out of UCLA and UCLA beat Colorado or Stanford beat Colorado. So they're going to say, oh my gosh, why not take UCLA all day, every day? And that's what Vegas wants you to do. They want that. They are dying right now. Vegas is seeing all this money come in on the Bruins. Nobody's got faith in Colorado. Deion's coming off a bye week. Give me Colorado to cover, and it wouldn't surprise me a bit if they win this game outright big.
Wow. Puff, what do you think about this?
Yeah, this is one of them games where, like, all season we'll be able to get Colorado where the splits aren't fucked. Like, where it's not going to be like 90% money and bets on Colorado. This is going to be one of them games where you might not even, they might not even get over 50%. So that means Colorado, this is the game that they're going to upset them and win probably. I know 17 points is a big margin, but I wouldn't be surprised if Colorado wins.
I got you. Tristan, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm on Rado. I think the bye week gonna help them, and I think I don't know if they win. I definitely think Shedeur Sanders keeps this within 10.
Kyle, what do you think, buddy?
I don't believe in UCLA at all. I don't think they're that good of a football team. Don't really think they're even a top 25 team. I'll just be completely honest with you. So Colorado covers, and I think Colorado even could potentially win the game. I think they're going to win the game.
I like it. I'm with y'all. I love this. I love this the spread. You know, the money line here. We should be able to make a lot of money here on the money line. Also, I don't think UCLA. I never thought of anything about UCLA, but I love the over. So give me Colorado and the over. All right, let's go to and why they're still in the top 17. I have no idea. North Carolina traveling to Georgia Tech. After a loss, North Carolina is still laying 11.5, over and under 63. Donnie, what do you think?
God, this game's ugly. I don't like it. It's a conference game. Georgia Tech's been playing better ball than they have previously. They're very feisty, but they give up a ton of yards, but it's all rushing yards. So they're giving up 227 yards rushing per game. That's a lot of rushing yards. That's a lot of people running the ball. And UNC is either going to live or die with Drake May. So them only giving up 225 yards through the air is very concerning for this game. Either way, I just don't like it. I would take the over if I have to bet it, but give me the home dog at night to cover.
All right, what do we got, Puff?
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, nah. What the hell is that?
Yeah, nah. North Carolina's going to blow them out, probably. I think they win this by like 35. Georgia Tech sucks. They lost to Boston College. That's hard. That's hard to do.
Hey, Boston College
Who
almost
called
beat Florida
that?
State.
But it's also
Hey,
hard to lose to Virginia.
It's even harder to lose to Virginia.
Kyle, what do you think about this mess?
Yeah, I think. There's going to be a lot of overreaction on North Carolina. I think this team's fine. I think they're going to bounce back easily. Plus 11.5. Give me that all day.
I'm with you. I like North Carolina and a big bounce back right here. Georgia Tech ain't them. I know it's a night game. Anything can happen, but I like North Carolina and a bounce back. Give me them minus the points. Okay, Tristan, it's all yours.
I'm on UNC. I mean, it's just that simple. I called Georgia Tech losing at home last week. Boston College was plus 200 going into Georgia Tech, and I mean they won with ease. So this Georgia Tech team's not good. UNC would be fine. They'll cover.
All right, gentlemen, let's go to some best bets for the week.
We still got
Yeah, you got two more games.
Oh, I got two more games. What games?
You got
James Madison and Old Dominion, which is a super barn burner. Let's be serious.
Dude, no, come on. No, do not shit on mid-major football. That shit is awesome.
How'd that UAB work out for you last week?
Hey, it don't matter about
Oregon State
UAB.
and Arizona.
It don't matter. It don't
Pac-12
matter.
after dark.
But let me give my pick for this James Madison Old Dominion game, okay?
All right,
Look.
JMU minus 20 at home against Old Dominion. Go ahead, Puff.
Dude, JMU, I love this squad this year. I don't know if they can play in a bowl game yet because I think they got to wait one more year. But this team is legit. They are the real deal. They blow teams out. They're blowing teams out left and right, and nobody's even batting an eye. But look, Old Dominion, they play Old Dominion this week. Old Dominion just beat App State. App State is a decent football team, but JMU easily is going to cover this 20 points. They're going to smoke them fools.
Tristan.
I agree. JMU.
Kyle.
Yeah, give me James Madison.
Donnie.
This is I'm kind of curious on smoking these fools. What games were you looking at again? I'm a little concerned here.
Dude, what are we talking? They beat Georgia Southern, the same Georgia Southern team that only had one loss going into that game. They beat them 41-13. South Alabama, a good South Alabama team. They beat them by 8. Granted that. Utah State, they put 45 on their head. What are we talking about, Donnie? What are we talking about?
They also gave up 38 to Utah State.
Don't matter.
How's that a smoke then?
That don't matter.
You win by 7. That's not smoking.
They're gonna put up 40.
Here's the thing. They are covering like mad right now. They have been covering all year, except the one game where they were favored over 20 points, they did not cover. So give me Old Dominion plus 20.
Ooh.
I cannot believe we're having this much of a discussion over ODU and JMU, but yeah, give me James Madison minus 20.
That's why we love college football.
It's a lot better than the NFL, and we're not even going to do that today.
You're fucking.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. WWE bullshit. All right, we got number 11 Oregon State 6-1, 3-1 in the Pac-12, going to Arizona, a 9:30 game. Man, funny things happen over there in the desert. Oregon State minus 3.5 on the road, 56.5 on the total. Puff, let's go ahead and start with you. Give us a bear trap.
Weird things do happen in the desert, but there's no weird shit that's going to be going on here because Oregon State's going to come to town and wipe these fools. This is a classic overreaction to them beating Washington State. So Arizona beat Washington State 44-6. This is your classic overreaction. Oregon State is not a bad football team. They are going to smoke these fools.
Kyle, what do you think about that take?
I disagree with Puff. I disagree with him.
Yeah, come on, Kyle, give it to him.
I disagree. I can't wait to watch this game. And this is the first Pac-12 after dark game that I am so excited to watch this year. I'm going to be at a high school football game on Saturday night. I can't wait to get home from that game to go watch this game. Give me Arizona minus 3.5. This is the upset of the week happening right here.
Yeah.
So you're taking the dog at home. I got you. Tristan, what do you think?
I agree, man. That this Arizona team is, I mean, they're pesky. I mean, they just hang around, and I mean, they gave Washington fits this last week. I don't think it's an overreaction. I just think that the books are going to catch up. They know that Arizona's going to hang around. So give me Arizona. And
Oh.
sprinkle the money line, buddy.
No, you fucking.
All right, Donnie, give us the stats. Give us the lowdown. What are we looking at here, Don?
I mean, the books are going to eat on this one no matter what. I think they're going to get a lot of action. It's a very late game. People are going to be down and chasing.
Yeah, I was about to say
up and
chasing.
hammering. They're going to go all over this game. And the big thing that they're going to bet on is the over. I think a lot of people are going to bet on the over, and I think this game actually falls into that trap where this one turns out to be an under game. That said, because of that, because it's a late game at Arizona, give me Arizona. They've been playing a little bit better ball. You know, they gave Washington fits. They took USC to triple overtime and should not have lost that. And then they just flat out smashed Washington State, who Oregon State lost to earlier this year. So, yeah, give me Arizona.
Boy, this is a tough one. This is really tough. You can look at it both ways. You can look at it four ways. You could step in a bear trap. You could have it's just this is a tough one, man. And what's scary is if I'm down, I might get stuck in that trap late Saturday night. You know, because you beat
like you did chasing Washington the last.
Oh
this
my
last
gosh,
weekend.
this is so scary. But this is why.
Arizona
You got to find the script, man. You got to find the script, and the day's going to tell you. But I'm going to go with a home dog late at night, plus 3.5, Arizona. Give it to me. Okay, gentlemen, it's that time. We're going to start with Tristan.
Don't start with me. I'm not ready.
Puff. Well, okay, Puff has it. Puff,
Okay.
go ahead. Give me a best bet or two or three, whatever you got.
All right, let's do it. So I got 4 this week. The first one is Kansas plus 10 against Oklahoma. I love that line. They're at home. I like that matchup. My second one is Clemson minus 10 at NC State. I know that sounds crazy, but the splits on that game, everybody's all over North Carolina State. And I really like Clemson. Anytime that spreads like that, they tend to cover. My other one, Miami minus 18.5 against Virginia. Virginia coming off that big win last week. They're going to be dead. They're going to be flat. Miami coming off a big win too, but I think they keep that momentum rolling and they just roll right through Virginia. And then my last pick is Baylor money line against Iowa State. Baylor at home. They really haven't looked that good this year, but they're starting to get the ball rolling here and play some decent ball. So I like Baylor money line against Iowa State.
There we go. Donnie, what do you think, buddy?
We already know my big pick. I'm taking Ole Miss minus the points. That is the best bet on the board. And if you really want the second best bet, take the over as well. But yeah, Ole Miss by murder.
Kyle, what do you got?
My biggest pick is Houston at Kansas State. For some reason, Kansas State is favored by 17.5. Like, what in the world is that? Where did they pull that one from? Give me.
They know Texas sucks.
Kyle, what was it? I'm sorry.
Houston at Kansas State.
Over?
Yeah, I'm going over, and I'm taking Houston plus 17.5.
Okay.
There we go. So I got 3. And I'm going to go ahead and put my nuts on the line here. But not with this one, because this one's easy. Don, I'm with you. Over in the Ole Miss game. Take it twice. But I've got Florida plus 14.5 at the cocktail party. And then I got Utah money line. Utah money line at home to beat Oregon. Those are my 3. Tristan.
All right, so I got Oregon minus 6.5. Coach, I'm gonna fade you. And then I also got BYU plus 18 to cover against Texas.
I got you. Guys, thank you guys for being on. Thank you, listeners, for listening. Make sure you like, share, comment, man. Click that like button. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't like. Make sure you go to Coach's Call on tap. We've got merch there, but we also have links to our Discord and links to the YouTube channel. Tell your friends and family about us. Let them join in. We're gonna pare this down come Saturday morning. We'll be on the Discord. We'll be doing live plays, half plays, quarter plays, prop plays, all kinds of plays. We also have hockey, soccer, tennis, Basketball is coming around the corner. They're already betting on that. So make sure you join us on that. Tristan in North Carolina, Kyle Puff in Pennsylvania, Donnie in Tennessee. I'm your coach here in Texas. Thank you guys for listening. I hope all your tickets cash in. Until next week, I'll see you later. Adios.